Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most that rule well, and shalom to all the Arkim, teaching and pushing this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. More specifically, shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS England London Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to help edify the elect. I like to start my lessons by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly, but you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations because we have been scattered among all people throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like, because Numbers 1 and 18 tells you that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So I saw this article when I was scrolling through my news feed yesterday, and I thought it would be edifying to do a lesson on this. So basically this is from the ABC Chicago, and it's entitled Child Endangerment. It says elementary school janitor in New Jersey accused of contaminating food utensils with bleach and bodily fluids. Now this was published on Friday, November the 3rd, so a few days ago. Now you've got this guy here who evidently is a fruitcake. I mean, what man poses with a phone to take a selfie like that? That's like a fucking effeminate spirit, man. Fucking pouting his lips and shit. It says elementary school teacher. Look, man, try the spirits by the spirit. I'm gonna say this guy's an Edomite, because this is the type of shit that Edomites tend to do. It says elementary school janitor in NJ accused of contaminating food utensils with bleach and bodily fluids. Now I'm going to read this article, and this is obviously a very how do you say, disgusting story, but there's a deeper level to this to which I'm going to expose. But let me read the article first. It says an elementary school janitor in New Jersey is facing a list of charges including child endangerment for allegedly contaminating food and utensils with both bleach and bodily fluids. 25-year-old Giovanni Impellizzeri of Vinland is also charged with aggravated assault and tampering with food. Look at him. That's a sodomite right there, man. Impellizzeri was employed by the Elizabeth Moore School in the Upper Deerfield School District. According to the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office, state police were contacted by school authorities on Monday after receiving tips about social media posts that allegedly depicted Impellizzeri performing sex acts with what are described as inanimate objects at the school. This guy's got demons on him, man. The investigation revealed Impellizzeri allegedly contaminated food products and utensils in the school cafeteria with bodily fluids that prosecutors say included saliva, urine, and feces. Yeah, I agree, little man. In one incident, police say Impellizzeri sprayed bleach into a container of cucumbers with the intent of harming children. In another incident, police say Impellizzeri touched his private areas with bread, spit on it, and put it back into a container to be served to students. This is some demonic fucked up shit, man. This is a public health crisis at this point. We don't know who or where he's been, said parent Rachel Jenkins. Kids are getting sick, having diarrhea, vomiting, and we're blaming it on a belly bug when in reality it could be hepatitis, it could be food poisoning, said parent Christencia Jenkins. Like, who knows what else he's been putting in there. Prosecutors say Impellizzeri did all of this while employed at the school where he has worked since September 2019. Investigators say they're trying to determine exactly when the alleged acts occurred, as disgusted parents are about the As disgusted as parents are about the accusations, they're also upset with the school, and rightfully so. According to the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office, the school learned of the accusations Monday and contacted police, and Pellizzeri was arrested on Tuesday. Parents say they didn't hear from the school until Wednesday when they got a robocall. What the fuck is a robocall? Oh my gosh. Saying that an employee was on leave. The district didn't contact the health department until Thursday. It also sent parents another text asking for tips, saying no students were involved. One parent didn't see it that way. If there's bodily fluids and all this other stuff going around, that's direct involvement, said John Wojcicki. And that's true. The superintendent addressed some of the parents on Friday in the parking lot who came to pick up their children. Parents have now started a petition for the superintendent to be fired. The district has not responded to multiple requests for comment from Action News, and rightfully so. If I was a parent, man, I'd be furious about this. But you know what? This is why I don't have children. Because even as a child myself, I saw how fucking wicked and corrupt the public school system was, and I'm the kind of person where I don't want to compromise in certain areas, and an area that I don't want to compromise in is in the care of my children, because according to this law, hold on a second, Nehemiah, get down. Hold on a minute. Nehemiah, get down. Good boy. Good boy. Forgive me, I was just talking to one of my pets. Yeah, I didn't want to compromise by having to send my children into the public school system because I knew how wicked and corrupt and demonic it was. So rather than have to go halfway, with my children, I decided not to go anywhere at all. And thankfully, through the Spirit of the Lord, I've been able to maintain that stance. And Lord willing, I can continue that, because having children on this side, you know, certain brothers can deal with it, you know, they can cope with it, but me, I know I couldn't. I'd be vexed every day at the thought of my children having to go and sit in an indoctrination centre to be taught all manner of wickedness. And even the scriptures say that, man. There's a scripture in, I believe in Sirach, where it says, better it is, it might not be Sirach, but I know it's in the Apocrypha, better it is to die with no children than to have them that are ungodly. Forgive me, the word search in my, because I'm using a Samsung Android phone at the moment. Usually I search for scriptures on my Apple device, because the word search on my Samsung device is complete shit. So I'm going to roughly paraphrase a lot of the scriptures. Forgive me for not quoting them specifically and to the point, but my device is a Ruby at the moment, so I have to do the best I can. Yeah, so better it is to not have any children, to have them that are ungodly, and that's the risk you run in this society, because everything is geared towards turning your children into ungodly children and basically puppets for the New World Order. I'll get more into that later. Let me finish the article. It says, parents have now started a petition for the superintendent to be fired. The district has not responded to multiple requests for comment from Action News. Prosecutors say Pellizzeri is in the hospital and will have a detention hearing on Monday. Officials say the school district is working with the Department of Health to ensure utensils, food preparation areas and surfaces have been sanitized, and the food in question has been discarded. I mean, that's some weak shit, man. It's no point in closing the stable door after the horse is bolted, man. Your children have been contaminated, you know. I wouldn't feel safe sending my child back to that environment, man. The prosecutor's office say it is also collecting samples from Pellizzeri to see if any diseases could have been transmitted. Once that has been determined, prosecutors say the next steps will be provided by the health department. Forgive me. For now, parents, students, and others who have been consumed. Let me read this again. For now, parents of students and others who may have consumed contaminated food should contact their healthcare provider if they show signs of illness, particularly severe illness, the Department of Health said in a statement. See, again, I'll say it once again, there's no point in closing the stable door after the horse is bolted. Now, the parents are in an uproar about this situation, and rightfully so. If this was my child being fucking abused like this and contaminated with some, sodomites and sexual bodily fluids, I'd want revenge for that. Lord have mercy on me, but I would not be appeased by some fucking, oh, we're going to suspend this guy or we're going to fire this guy and everything's going to continue as normal. No, man, you just defiled my child. But this goes into a deeper thing, because really, it's going to sound harsh, but these parents are getting what they deserve. Because what's happened is, in this particular situation, their children have been defiled and contaminated physically, right? But what these parents don't seem to realise is that their children are being defiled and contaminated on a spiritual level every day by attending these institutions. Because every day when you send your child to these public school systems, they're teaching them about LGBTQ acceptance, they're teaching them about atheism, they're teaching them that God doesn't exist, they're bringing them up into the ways of capitalism, trying to tell them that, oh, well, yeah, if you study hard, you go to a good secondary school. If you study hard, you go to a good college, then you go to university, you get a good degree, you'll get a good job, and you'll be a productive member of this society, when in reality, it's all lies. It's all lies. Basically, it's all there to basically break your children down psychologically and remold them and reshape them into citizens who will obey the New World Order, which is basically set up by Esau and his demonic, the demonic principalities that he serves, primarily Satan. So basically, every day when you're sending your child to school, they're getting defiled and contaminated. Now, these parents are in an uproar because it's happened on a physical level, but really they should be in an uproar because it's happening every single day on a spiritual level. These children are being indoctrinated into the ways of witchcraft, getting them to celebrate all these high unholy days such as Halloween, Christmas, teaching them that Christopher Columbus was a hero who discovered the Americas. All this bullshit. It's all lies. All lies. So your children are being defiled every single day that you send them to these institutions. So why aren't you in an uproar about that? But you want to be in an uproar now that they've been defiled physically. And another thing as well, these school systems, they don't give a shit about the parents' rights or the parents' thoughts. And it shows from this case, because really these school systems, they see your children as orphan children and that they're the property of the state. So even though you are the parent, the education system, the school board has more governance and control over your own children than you do. So if I go back to it, I've brought this out a number of times, but I'll bring it out again for edification's sake. If we go to etymology online, when you look up the word pupil, there we go, pupil, definition 1, student, late 14th century, meaning orphan child, ward, person under the care of a guardian, from the Old French pupille, and directly from Latin pupillus, orphan child, ward, minor, diminutive of pupus, boy, or pupa, girl, probably referred to pure, child, and that's probably a suffix from pi root, meaning disciples, student, youth, or any person of either sex under the care of an instructor or tutor, and is recorded by the 1560s. So there you go. They show this shows that when these school teachers and the school boards refer to your children as pupil, they're really spitting in your face by saying that, man. They're basically saying, I should say, spitting in the parents' face by saying that, because they're basically telling you parents, your children don't belong to you anymore. You're just the person who takes them home for a few hours a night on a weekday and at weekends, but every other day, 6 hours a day or 7 hours a day, however long it is the school day is, your children belong to the state. And Esau is bringing them up in a way which benefits him and his plans for his new world order agenda, and not in a way that benefits families or the people. Because when these children come out of the education system after they've gone all the way through it, and they get their degrees, going back to Freemasonry degrees, these people come out selfish, entitled, arrogant, proud, boastful, ungodly, atheists, witches, warlocks, homosexuals, lesbians, all manner of madness is what these education systems train these people up to be. Now there's a precept I'm going to bring out that I have on deck here lined up, and it says, Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it. So as Israelites, we're supposed to train up our children in the ways of righteousness, teaching them about our power, which is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, teaching them about all the great things that the Most High God Yahweh did for us while we were captives in the land of Egypt, by raising up Moses and Aaron to go against Pharaoh, the many plagues that were sent upon the land of Egypt, while the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart, until ultimately the Pharaoh did indeed let us go, and we had to escape, and we passed through the Gulf of Suez, which is commonly known as the Red Sea, when Moses parted it, and how the Most High closed up the waters and swallowed up the Pharaoh and his chariots, and how after that we sojourned in the wilderness for 40 years, until we were led into the promised land by Joshua and Caleb, and then all the great things that the Most High did for us during that land. Basically our history. That's our history as Israelites. We're supposed to talk to our children about these things on a daily basis, not just on Sunday, when you send your child to church and they go to Sunday school for maybe 45 minutes or an hour on a Sunday once a week. You're supposed to be talking to your children about this shit. It's not shit. This is important stuff. You're supposed to be talking to your children about this important stuff every single day of your child's life, because you're supposed to be rehearse the righteous acts and train your child up in the knowledge of the righteous acts. A lot of children are growing up with zero knowledge of the scriptures. So when the school system is teaching them that the Bible is just folly and a fairy tale, and that King David never existed and King Solomon never existed, and nobody knows where the lost tribes of Israel are, or all this kind of madness, your children will believe that shit. That's bullshit. Your children will believe that, and they'll believe more in some fucking witchcraft bullshit, like, I don't know, going to platform, whatever number they call it, was it 3 3/3 or whatever, about some Harry Potter shit, being into that, or being into other madness, or even, adopting LGBTQ values and ideals. See, that's what's happening every single day in these wicked ass indoctrination centers masquerading under public education centers, which are commonly known as schools, colleges and universities. It's all fucking disgusting, corrupt and wicked. And thankfully the Most High showed me when I was in it just how wicked it was. Lo and behold, I come out of it, and later on in life, as I get older, I learn about this truth, and I realise, yeah man, all my suspicions about these teachers being witches and fucking warlocks and shit, best believe it's true, man. It's all wicked, man. It's all wicked, it's all corrupt. And the scriptures say what? The little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So when you send your child to school and they're being constantly fed this leaven in the spirit, this polluted leaven in the spirit, how long do you think it's going to be before your children end up completely corrupted, and then you're sitting there wondering why your child wants, your boy child wants to come home and wear a dress, or why your boy child wants to ask another boy out on a date, or your female child would rather be with other women than use her natural use, which is to be with a husband. Or even less than that, you're wondering why your daughters are growing up to be thots and Instagram hoes and OnlyFans hoes and just basically straight up whores. You're sitting there scratching your head wondering, where did I go wrong? What did I do to make my child turn out like this? Well, guess what? You sent them into this public fool system, and this is the outcome. Or even more than that, you're wondering why your son is turning out to be a 2/3 worldly nigger. You're trying to train up your child to be have morals, integrity, to be brotherly and all this kind of shit. Lo and behold, your child grows up and is 18 and is trying to curse you out, trying to fucking stand up in your face. You as his father, right? He's trying to screw off to you like he wants to knock you out and talk his shit about you. And he wants to be a nigger in the world listening to fucking, demonic hip-hop music and basically smoking weed and being a grimy ass nigger. Going out on the street and sticking people up with knives, stealing their handbags and purses and shit. And you're wondering why this is happening. Your son's coming home fucking with a bulletproof vest. Why has your son got a bulletproof vest? What's he into, man? So, these parents that are outraged by this situation, it's going to sound harsh, but they're getting exactly what they deserve. This is judgment from the Most High. And yeah, this guy is a fruitcake and a weirdo and a madman and evidently a sodomite. Well, the rest of these teachers are defiling your children every day by what they're inserting into your children's minds, what they're making them read, what the syllabus is, what the curriculum says. Your children are getting defiled every damn day. Why aren't you in an uproar about that? So I made the point, man. Beware. If you are a parent that has children, I pray for you. And you're sincere and you're in this truth, I pray for you, man. I pray that your children don't end up bugged out and defiled and corrupted, and that you can indeed instill good knowledge, fear and wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai in them, and that ultimately through you, if you're in this faith and you're sincere and you endure, that they may be saved through you. Because, to have an ungodly child, man, that's a punishment, and not a very light one, because every day your heart's going to be in turmoil for the state of your child. So that's not a very pleasant position to be in. So as for me, I'd rather not run that. I'd rather not swim in those waters completely. I'd rather stay childless until the kingdom, because at least in the kingdom you know that all your children will be righteous, and you don't have to worry every day as to whether or not they're going to be kidnapped by some paedophile or, touched up by some fucking PE teacher, or generally turned into a straight out demon by the public fool system. So Lord willing, that's been edifying with that. Once again, giving all praises, all and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakadash, double honours unto the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well. Shalom to the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And I'll catch you on the next lesson. Shalom for now.